something that brings fear into your soul, into your mind, is not from God.
This is why you need to pray for your children. Hey guys, and welcome to God's Good Grace podcast. I'm your host, Bella.
And I'm Melody. I don't know if you guys just ever wondered about like zodiac signs, astrology, all these things, or maybe you guys that are watching do that currently right now or did that in the past. And in our testimony, in our second part, this is a part where me and Bella start to like navigate the new age because we were lost in the world, as we said previously in our first part, that we were lost, very lost. And we just found the new age because it was like a thing that was becoming very popular, especially like during COVID and like the summers. It became super popular. I remember watching it on my TikTok For You page, scrolling. I would see all the new age. I don't know if you guys still see that, but it was a new age that would always pop up. The palm readings, the tarot cards, the crystals, and then it was also the manifesting. Like it was a time where a lot of people like this new age kind of like bursted out to especially us teenagers, new generations. And here it says, I searched up what new age means because it's new age, and I was like curious, is this like a name they put at it because it's new, or is it like a name that has always been here? And the new age around the 1970s and around the 1980s it started, and it was a spiritual or non-scientific activities such as meditation or people who are connected with such activities. Like they were involved in yoga, in astrology, or crystals, and they were also involved in like they believed in their zodiac signs, Virgo, all those zodiac signs. They were involved in that, and they believe that and they believe in the third eye. That is what the new age is. The new age believers, like, it is what it is. So I know when I started, it was on TikTok. I saw it and I remember I was like, oh. And the one thing that attracted me to it, guys, was the crystals. If you guys have never seen the crystals, we'll put pictures up. They're pretty colors. Like they have pink, purple, white, all these beautiful colored crystals. And since I was little, I've always kind of like rocks like that. So I was like, oh, I think I like this. And I was starting to see how people would manifest. They would like write down this, like, for example, like, I am so smart and stuff like that. You would write it down like several times in a notebook. You would write down what you like manifest, and like basically you were your own god, now that I think about it, because you were like getting the stuff you wanted for yourself. You were deciding what you were gonna get. And I remember like into it, I was starting to get crystals. I don't know, my sister remembers watching me. Like whenever we would go to the store, I would start to get crystals because they believe that certain crystals, each of them work for something according to them. They had a certain thing. And I was putting this trust into these crystals and astrology and my sign. And I just wanted something to trust at this time. Like I wanted to trust something and have like, I know something's gonna happen for good type, not for bad. I wanted to trust something for the good, because as we were saying earlier in the part 1, we were suffering. We were living in a home where we were just not loved anymore. In there, we were being like hated on, pushed back on. That is why I just like fell into this trap. And while I fell into this trap, I started getting more and more in depth into it. I started wearing these crystal bracelets that protect you. And then I started wearing the necklaces that have the little crystal to protect you. Like I would wear several of them, and I would buy several of them and have them in my room. And then I would also buy incense. And I would like, según the incense, like at a certain amount of day and time, whenever you would go around your room and turn on the incense, you were like cleaning it spiritually. You were cleaning the room. So I remember I used to do that too. Like I would clean my room. According to me, I would clean it with an incense, and I would like do that. And then I would also, they would believe that the incense little fire that it has, little smoke that comes out, if it went in like a circle, it meant that your energy was good. And if it went all messed up, it's because you're not good. I remember, like, I would start falling into that. And I remember I would just be looking outside my window, because when you would look outside, I could see the little smoke, and I would watch it. And I fell real bad into this trap. And I'm sure many have fell into this trap, because it is very believable. I just remember when I was doing those things, I was not sleeping well. I couldn't go to sleep, and I would be awake probably all night. Literally, I would be awake all night because I couldn't go to sleep. There were nights where I was like scared in my room though, and I would see things in the corner of my room and in my closet. So I was not sleeping peacefully during these times at all, and it was just horrifying. The more in depth I got into it, like, I never slept, and I just remember one night I was like, I want to do this. Well, if I cannot sleep, maybe if I'm asleep but I'm awake, I want to do that. It was a thing that it was called having out of body experiences. There were astral projections. That's what it was. So what it was is you were asleep, like you were dreaming already asleep, but in the dream you would come out of your body, so you could like walk around the house that you were in or go somewhere else. You could transform into some other stuff, like into other places. So I remember, guys, watching it on my phone really late at night, because couldn't go to sleep. Remember, so I was just remember watching it on my phone and searching up more. I remember I searched up more in depth about it. How do you do it? Like, I was already gonna do it, but something happened that I just didn't. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. Some fear drawed into me that was like, girl, don't do that. So I didn't do it. I did not do that out of body projection thing. And I just stayed still, and I was like, I'm just not gonna do that. But I was really opening just the portals to the demons to come in, because astrology and new age, all this stuff, they paint it to you as a really pretty picture, as a really colorful, pretty picture with all these beautiful crystals that attract you into it, like me, that I fell into that. And they paint it so pretty, but yet they don't tell you the bad side, because there is no good side to it. It's just all bad side painted with colors, and you just being like blindsided with what the people say, because they like basically also tell you your future when they read your tarot cards. They're like, love is gonna come to you, and this, like they go and tell you all these things, and it's just a picture that they paint to you guys that seems all pretty, but it's not all pretty. The dark side is that if you're not with God, like this new age, they're not with God at all, then they're with the devil. And that's why everything that you would want, like me, everything that I manifested, I would get it, because I was with the devil. So that's why all the people that are in this always get whatever they want, because Satan is in charge of the world while God is in charge of heaven and getting people who want to follow him. So that's how it was. And my sister didn't like tell me nothing about it. She never told me nothing about it, because it's also, she didn't really know. I mean, our family did know. If you guys are wondering, like, did they know? Yes, they knew. And I would even go to church with my crystals. Like, I was still going to church with my crystals. And whenever I would go to church, though, I remember I would feel the feeling of, like, I shouldn't be wearing this. Like, I felt this guilt in that was like, don't wear this. Like, and you, Bella, did you ever fall into this trap the same way that I did?
So yes, actually Melody was the one that introduced me to it. We were at the mall, and we were going to this store. I think it was called like Earthbound.
Yeah.
Melody was like, oh, I really want to go. So she's like, Bella, go with me. I could get you some things. So I was like, okay. So we went inside, and they had like all these crystals everywhere. They had like smoke coming out from one corner. I don't know what it was, but they were like coming out, and I was so confused. I was like, okay. And Melody, she's like, here, you should get this one because it says that it's gonna protect you. This one says that it's gonna love you. And it was so weird. And I remember there was a ring and it had like a crystal, or I think it was. And Melody was like, oh, this one's so pretty, you should get it. So I didn't end up getting it, thankfully. But Melody did get me a bracelet, and I remember I would wear it every day. And I would think, oh, it's gonna protect me. I mean, Melody says it will, I guess it will. Because, she was my oldest sister, so I believed her. And then that same day, we had came across the evil eye.
Yes, it was like an evil eye type of bracelet. Being honest, when me and Bella got this, to give you guys in context, we didn't know what it was. I just remember it being a red bracelet and it had something on it. That's all I remember. Like we just went and got that.
We're getting the bracelet. The lady, she started praying over, like she was grabbing her hand and she was putting it on and she was saying some words.
Yes, but they were like words that we couldn't understand. I remember me and her looked at each other like, that's so weird.
Yeah, we're like, okay, weird. And our grandma, she did tell us not to get it, but we didn't we didn't care. We were like, we're just gonna get them. So then we get it, and she starts praying, and we're so confused. We're like, okay, so weird. So then, as the time goes by, they would say, oh, if it's the evil eye, they say that it's supposed to protect you, and that it takes away all the evil and it takes away all the negative energy, blah blah. And I believed it, and my sister believed it too. So it was just kind of like, sad that we believed that. But one day we come to our mom's house, and our mom had told us that it was bad, and she explained to us, and she actually got mad at us for those reasons. She got mad at us, telling us, why are we doing this, that this is bad for us, that we shouldn't be doing that. And we kind of felt guilty afterwards.
Yeah, and after our mom told us that, because I remember I don't think we showed her the bracelets. We didn't want to show her them, but she saw them because they were red. They were bright red, so you could see them. So she saw them, and we were just like, she was like, "What is that?" And then we were like, "Oh, they're just bracelets we got at the mall." And she was like, "No, throw that away right now." I just remember her saying that, "Throw them away right now." So we threw them away, and we're like, "What's wrong?" Because we were like, "Mom, they prayed for the bracelets too. Like, nothing is wrong." But actually, guys, now that we think about it, and now that we know, they were praying to Satan. Yeah. They were praying to them to protect it.
But yeah, that's what happened. Our mom had gotten really mad at us, and honestly, I'm actually thankful that she made us throw them away.
Yeah.
Because after that, we never got them again.
Actually, after that, I started feeling like skeptical about everything that I had in my room. Because I don't know if Bella remembers, my room was kind of like a corner of it, the window corner, was filled with crystals. I don't know if she remembers.
Yes, she had tons of crystals. We would go somewhere and she would be like, I need a crystal. If she would forget one, she had to buy one.
Yes, guys, and I would like, okay. Literally, like, I'm telling you guys, like, I just went full blast into it. And I'm so glad I didn't get more into it, because I would have been like, ooh, I don't want to even know. But I was just opening so hard, open the door for the devil to come in.
Yes, and I remember at one point she had done it in the whole house.
Oh, yeah.
She did it one time, and I remember I was like, why are you doing this? And she's like, it's because it's going to bring good energy to our home. And I was like, okay. I didn't let her do it in my room, though. Guys, but she did it everywhere else.
It was full on. Like, just right now, as Bella was saying, that everywhere we would go out was buy some. I remember that I would have some in my bag, little ones, because they're so small ones too. I would have some in my bag. Then I would put some in my wallet where I had money. I'll put it there so I could bring money. Like, what? Like, I was always wearing them. Like, it was probably like no other time that you would see me not wearing them. And really, guys, God just really protected us, because we were really like putting our trust and our faith into these astrology, zodiac signs, crystals, all these evil things that we didn't know were evil because we thought they were going to bring good to us, because that's how everybody who does it projects it, except the people who have come to realize that this is wrong, because they start getting their sleep paralysis, they start seeing the demons like more into it. You start seeing all these things the way that I started seeing majority of the things.
Yeah, and it was like just so bad. And I also wanted to talk about the zodiac signs. I used to believe in that really hard. Like I remember it was during COVID that people were saying, "Oh, what's your
Oh
zodiac
yeah.
sign? What's your zodiac sign?" And I was like, "What is that?" So I'm like, "I don't know what that is." And I wanted to reply, so I had searched up what's a zodiac sign. And it told me that it says that a zodiac sign is a sign that refers to the one of the 12 specific constellations of the zodiac that the sun passes through when you're born. And that's supposed to, like, astrology says that it's supposed to predict a person's personality. So I was like, okay. So I had searched up which one was like for my birthday in August, and it said a Virgo. So I was like, okay. And I remember I had pressed images, and it was like some demonic animal. I don't know. They're like demonic animals. Like one is a. I remember I had seen a goat
It's a
and
goat,
a
a crab,
crab.
a scorpion,
I don't know,
and all
but
the other
they're
ones
all
are different
ugly.
shapes.
They look all so ugly. And I remember I was like, okay, well, I guess I had told the person, oh, I'm a Virgo. And then I remember it's just really bad, guys. You're basically worshiping a god, saying that, oh, that thing is giving me my personality. Like, guys, no, that thing does not give you a personality. They just want you to start thinking over and over again till you could be like that. And you could be like, oh, I am a Virgo. Like, no, you're basically saying that animal or whatever you're saying is you.
Yeah, and you're basically just putting your personality onto what they say that specific thing is. Because I remember the TikToks, I would see them too. Because the same way that Bella fell into that too, I also fell the same exact way into it. And I remember mine was a Cancer, and I was like, I'm a Cancer, and Cancers are supposed to be this and that. And I was like, I'm exactly like that. I would think like that. Like, it makes you think that you're exactly this way, and it makes everyone that is whatever they are that same way.
And it's like just the name Cancer. Like, I don't know what's going through our minds. If you think about the words, like they sound so ugly.
They
Like,
do.
and I was reading, and it says in Exodus 20 verse 3, it says, "You shall have no other gods before me." So you shouldn't be worshiping like a crystal
Or the
or
or the
like
stars and the
yes,
moon.
you shouldn't be like worshiping any other gods. And as I've seen, God did not give authority to the stars to say what your personality is.
No, he didn't.
No, he did not. So he didn't, or to astrology. Like, guys, if it's not in the Bible, it's because it's not from God. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
If it's not in the Bible, it's because it's not from God. God had opened our eyes. God used our mom to open our eyes also. It was like sometimes us as teenagers and kids, we see our parents always getting mad at us, and we're like, ugh, what they're saying, I don't care. They don't even know what it is. They don't speak our language, blah, blah. Like, guys know, it's actually called brain rot. You're talking like social media, and it's just so bad. So, you sometimes, or not sometimes, what your parents say, if you're doing something wrong and you feel guilty doing it, and your parents are telling you that it's wrong, you should believe them and listen to them, because you don't know if they're affecting you more. Well, they are. If it's not in the Bible, as I said again, it's not from God. So that's why we should listen to our parents, or maybe God's using a friend to tell you that what you're doing is wrong.
Whatever it is, guys, we just urge you guys to listen. And if you're like, I feel like they're trying to warn me, or the way our mom did to us, you could go ahead and just search in the Bible and be like, what does God say about what I'm doing? Use the Bible as your instructor, as your map for every single thing you ever have question for. Go to it and it will give you the answer. One way or another, you're gonna get it.
And guys, you don't need a Bible. I'm sure if you guys have any kind of electronic, a computer, a tablet, a phone, you can just search up Bible NIV, so it's New International Version, because if you put KJV, it's going to be the King James Version, and you do not want to be confused like I was.
Yeah.
When I got my first Bible, I got the KJV, and I was so confused. So search up Bible NIV so you guys can read.
So I just want to go ahead, and I'm curious about something about Bella, guys, because in the first testimony, part 1, I don't know if you guys saw the picture of Bella where she said how she just gained so much weight, and if you see her now in the video, she looks totally different. You could see her face more clear, and she looks slimmer. And I'm just curious, I just want to know, Bella, how did you lose this weight? How did you overcome this? I want to know. The people want to know.
I overcame the losing weight because my dad helped me, but not just that. God helped me in realizing that what I'm doing to myself is hurting myself in different ways. I was hurting my body by basically making myself sick, making my body sick. And I was hurting myself in that way. And God just showed me with my guardian, he showed me that how he was living his life and what was going through, him, and how they were encouraging me to eat more. Like one summer, I was with my mom the whole summer, and I had lost 12 pounds.
Wow.
And I had gone to my guardian's house to go pick up my little sister. And they had donuts at the house, and he was like, "Here, eat it," and he was shoving it to my face. And I was like, no, I already lost a certain amount of pounds, and I'm glad I did. I'm blessed to have lost those. And I was like, no. And he started like putting it in my mouth. And I remember whenever I had gotten out, I had pink here from the donut. And my mom had told me, "What did you eat?" And I told her that he had shoved the donut in my mouth. And that's like how badly, now that I'm saying it, that's how badly they wanted me to get sick and be like them. And it's just like God just opened my eyes. God used also my dad to open my eyes. Like sometimes it was a little hurtful. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't. It was a little hurtful. But I got the help, and he helped me lose 54 pounds in a year. In a year, yes. So I lost a lot of weight for my age, and I'm just so blessed that God gave me the strength, because I wouldn't even be able to run for like 2 minutes, because then I would start fainting, like literally. So God gave me the strength to lose this weight, because I had no energy. I was always so lazy, and God says to not be lazy, guys. I was so lazy that sometimes I would wake up and I would have like a bag of chips next to my bed,
She
and I
would rot in bed. She would. That's what she would do.
I would literally stay in my bed the whole time. Sometimes I would get up, and I would like go shower 2-3 times a day, but I would always stay in my bed. I would never get out. I would be watching movies the whole time.
Yes, guys. Like if I could find a picture, I will show you guys.
And I remember I would have to go get checked every once a month. or once every other month. And I remember it was terrifying for me as a kid because I remember I started getting checked when I was like around 8, 7. I was overweight, guys. Overweight. I was almost getting to the 200 pounds mark at the age of 12, 13, guys. So they had told me that this wasn't normal, that I had to start losing weight or I was going to get diabetes and I could die. Good thing that my cholesterol was never really high. That's a good thing. But I was like literally on the verge of dying and getting a heart attack. So God just really helped me through those times. It was really hard, guys. It was like really hard. I would cry sometimes because I would have to run up hills and I would start crying mid hill. I was barely running and I would start crying because, first of all, I wouldn't want to wake up early. I would wake up and I was start eating like a bag of hot Cheetos. And I would like, it was so unhealthy, guys. Everything that I would eat was frozen food, and frozen food is not good for you guys. It was all bad, processed, disgusting food. And it was just so bad. And at school, I would even pay kids to go buy me chips because my parents wouldn't let me anymore, or my grandma wouldn't let me. So I would pay kids in my school to go get me a bag of chips. And they would do it. And that's how like bad I was, guys. That's how bad I was letting myself destroy my insides. And it was bad, but God gave me the strength. And I know that if any of you guys are overweight, God can help you. And if you need any tips, I would definitely give you guys tips. Because I wish I had someone when I was smaller to tell me to stop. Because growing up, I was skinny, but by the time my parents got divorced, I went overweight so bad. Because I had no one to talk to, and that was the only way that I could comfort myself. You need to not be stressed out, also. And if you are, just pray to God and leave it to Him and give Him everything. And you will feel like this cleanness in your face, like if you showered. Like you would feel this cleanness in your face that you feel so fresh, like a fresh fruit. I'm sorry, that's how I'm imagining it. You feel like so nice. Also, you need to not like desperately want to, because if you stop eating, guys, that's not good for you neither. So I remember I was starting to do that to myself because I wanted to lose weight desperately, because I was getting made fun of everywhere I would go. My own grandma and my guardian would start making fun of the way that I would look. And they would be like, those pants don't fit you. Those shirts, are you really going to think those are going to fit you? They would tell me things like that. We would be in the stores and they would tell me, Bella, that shirt is not going to fit you. Look at you. And I remember I would want to cry because it's like, how can someone tell you this to your face in front of so many people? And they would say it loud. They wouldn't even say it quietly. So everyone would look at me and I would just be like, let's just leave the mall. So I would never have clothes neither. And I would always wear huge shirts, and sometimes my shirts would be ripped or smelly because I would have to wear my shirts over again. So that's how bad it was. But guess what? I lost it because God gave me the strength and gave me hope. And I had faith that God would help me and give me the strength again to lose this weight. And yes, you may not see progress in the first week or two, but it's okay. It's a part of the process, okay? And also, another thing is that you shouldn't be obsessed with your body right after like you lose weight. Don't be obsessed with your body, because God doesn't want us to be obsessed. Because then that's kind of like being prideful. Like saying, oh, I'm so proud of myself for doing this. Like it wasn't just myself. Like, my dad helped me. God helped me also, you know. So yeah, that's how I overcame, and that's how I lost
Yes.
my weight.
And guys, during the time that Bella overcame that and I threw away all that astrology stuff was the time that we moved with our mom.
Yeah.
And guys, I just remember something that Bella was saying, like, don't, like, seek pride in your body. Guys, oh my gosh, I'm sure you guys have heard of this band, BTS. I idolized BTS. Literally idolized. My whole room was filled with BTS posters, with BTS stuff.
And she literally had frames. She would have frame pictures of BTS, and she would have them in her like bedside table, and I would be like, girl. She would like have them like if they were her family, and sometimes I would be a little confused because as soon as like a little album would come out, we had to go to Target and get it for Melody, because then she would start crying. So that's how much she idolized them.
Like, I literally idolize them. Like, they're from Korea, so it's a different time zone. So whenever they will have like free events, I would stay up with someone else till 4 in the morning, because at 4 in the morning is when they started, but it was not 4 in the morning for them. It was like 10 a.m. for them. So it was 4 a.m. and I would stay awake all night. And I remember, guys, I idolized them hardcore. Like, I had them as my wallpaper. That's all I would talk about. I would listen to that song every single day, every single night. I would literally want to learn how to dance to songs like them. And I also started liking Blackpink. And I started having like my whole room, if you would walk into it, it was full with all those posters, with everything. Like, I was hardcore idolizing them.
Anything that she would see that was a BTS, she had to get it. She would get the little miniature figures. It was just
The
so
dolls.
bad.
It was
So
so
bad.
bad. But that was before I met God, because that was just I was idolizing these people that didn't even care about me, and I didn't even know I existed to start off, because I'm just a speck.
Like,
The only one who knew I was existing was God, and throughout all that, guys, I'm finally free from that. I literally threw away every single thing of it, because guys, when we moved houses, I was still idolizing them. When we moved to our mom's, I was still idolizing them. I remember I brought everything that I had.
she made me bring everything, and it was just so bad. I don't know why, but she made me make sure that I brought everything.
Yeah, and when she brought everything, I remember I just put it in my closet, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. And I would just have the minifigures out. But a few months ago, I was looking through my closet and I found them again. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have these things todavía. And they cost a lot, because they're like a really worldwide popular band. So whatever I had from them cost a lot, and I was like, I should sell it. But then my mom was like, no, we're not gonna sell it. And I was like, what happened? She was like, we're not selling these things because we're not gonna pass down demonic things and idolizing things to other people. We're not gonna do that. Throw them away. So I threw them all away to the trash, guys, and I'm finally free from that.
Yes, and I am so happy that she is, because
Ooh, girl. But I want to read you guys this verse that just shows how God is so merciful and just so good and great. It is here in Ephesians chapter 2 verse 4 and 2 verse 8, and it says, but God, who is rich in mercy, for his great love wherewith he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, aka astrology, zodiac, idolizing her, obesity, zodiac as well, he hath quickened us together with Christ. By grace we are saved. By his grace we are saved. And he hath raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Christ Jesus, that in the ages to come he might shew the exceeding riches of his grace in his kindness towards us through Christ Jesus. For by his grace, we are saved through faith, and not of ourselves. We are not saved because of ourselves. We are saved by God's good grace. And it is the gift of God. The gift of God that he gave us was his grace, his mercy that he just put on us. And he forgave me and Bella for the sins that we did. For the horrible, ugly, like imagine you being Imagine you being like
dirty water. Just imagine you're the dirty water and God's the beautiful blue, very
crystal clear.
water that you want to go to, right? But then you see this other side that's still dirty water, but you see an ice cream and you want the ice cream more than you want the very beautiful scenery. So sometimes you have to resist and give away the ice cream and throw it to the trash and go to the beautiful
water
scenery.
to transform.
Yes. So we could be cleaned and fresh like if you just got out of the shower.
Yes, guys, and by His grace, this is why we are here today. His mercy and His grace that just saved us, and that it wasn't us. Remember that, guys. It's not you who saved you from yourself. It was God who saved you.
Yeah, it's God. It's not the person who brought you, because God is probably using that person to bring you to them. Because sometimes, guys, we are that stubborn that we need someone to go and like bring us to Him.
Literally.
So, yeah. So if you guys are doing any of these things that we're talking about, just repent and stop doing it. Throw it away to the trash. Don't give it to anyone else. Throw it away to the trash and take it out of your house. Don't like just leave it there till the trash
don't
gets
do
full.
what I did.
Throw it in the trash. Pray and then throw it away. And then pray again. I want to pray that you, wherever you go, you're a blessing. Whenever you speak words, that whatever comes out of your mouth is a blessing to others.
Yes, guys. And I'm just saying this, don't be idolizing bands or crystals or whatever. I don't care, the evil eye, the red bracelet, all these ugly Majinger things. Don't be idolizing them. Because no, they're not your God. Your God is God. Okay? And just give it all to God. Find Him. He will save you by His grace and His mercy. Beautiful, good grace. That is why we're called God's good grace, because His grace is just so good.
Yeah.
But yes, guys, just repent and just be open to everything that's out there, and make sure you guys are open and see the bad through the lens, through the picture, the colorful picture that they paint to you. Yes, and guys, as well, now we have in our YouTube description, when you press like more links or describe, you can now press on it, and we have two links, Spotify, and then we have our other link, which is a document sign, where you guys could go ahead and put any questions you guys have or any topics that you guys would like for me and Bella to just touch on. We would really like to know your guys' like questions and topics that you have. We would gladly touch on those topics. And yeah,
See you guys.
bye.